was about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. What's up, Nasties? ¿Cómo están, Nasties? It's Oilers game day. Host Utah Hockey Club. Keep wanting to say Utah Jazz. They should just call themselves the Jazz. Saves Hernan a lot of problems.
You want to say Jazz? Call someone the mailman? Who's the mailman?
The mailman. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios in the west side of the city. It's a nice day. Could be a little bit warmer, but I'll take it. And it looks like the weather's going to improve as well. Fun show on tap. Lots to get to regarding the Edmonton Oilers. We're also going to look at some March Madness brackets. I know squat about March Madness, but it's a fun tournament, especially the first 2 days, man. The upsets, the close games. You just never know what to expect. And I like there's always that one guy in your group that thinks he's an expert. Of March Madness bracket.
Oh God!
And he's like, yeah, I'm just, I'm studying. Like, no, like I probably know one person that watches college basketball. That's my boy Brian Swain Dog. So nothing against anyone here, but like, just fill it out and let's just go, right?
Yeah. No, I don't. I remember when I played on Team Canada. The Jamie Ram was my partner, the other goalie. He was
person that watches college basketball. That's my boy Brian Swain. Sorry.
Jeez, what is going on?
Sorry.
And so he was into college hoops and was all in, and he would come in every day. Can you feel the madness?
Yeah.
And he bet on every single game, and
like it's exciting, but I don't know squat. So if I bet or set my brackets up, Gage, or it's just for fun. Like,
and I'll do that. Yeah. I don't mind doing that. Just a slight little bit of research is all it takes. Might take 20 minutes.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. So what you're saying is you want me to do some research.
Well, if you put in as much research to your F1 team as you did this.
Well, because I want to win F1. Like there's a lot on the line there. Pride. Money.
Oh,
there's no money. Never mind. Everybody should put $20 in.
No.
Why?
Because then
it makes it even spicier.
It's already spicy.
Yeah, I guess.
Just on a personal note, thanks everyone for voting for my daughter. With everything, it's the semifinals. She's been cruising so far, but you get to vote once per day. There's 9 days, 6 hours, 56 minutes left in the semifinals. She's currently second, I guess, behind a Mickey Mouse Club member. So I have sent Dustin Nielsen and his family down to Disneyland to deal with this little person. But if you can vote for her, it would be great. Thank you.
Yes, please do so. Let's get little Yana to number one there and into a video with Sierra. And then we can have Russell Wilson on it.
And then Russell Wilson comes to all day, every show.
All right, some housekeeping. Text us, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Very slow right now. I'm a little surprised. Where did everybody go? That's why I don't like Gager on the show before us, because it just wastes all its time. Yeah, well, because they heard all your great takes.
Oh, I lied the whole time. I'll change them all now.
Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. Let's get to 100. We're on a good little streak here of 100, so let's keep that going. Heat and Smoke at 140. Koob will test Gager and I's NHL trivia knowledge. We haven't done so good. We're tied 1-1 right now in the season series. We'll see what the Koob has in store for us today. 220, Brogan Houston from the Deseret Sports News. He covers the Utah Hockey Club and a team that's really hot right now. 6-2-2 in their last 10. 2 points out of the last playoff spot. Toronto did everybody a big favor by beating Calgary. last night, and Vancouver's going to be out with some key players tonight. So Utah's right there, and they are a interesting team. Joaquin, sorry, Tommy's just texting, and okay. I don't know who's on post, pre or post, but we'll figure that out. We will figure that out. So, listen, it's the last meeting between these two teams. Oilers have won both, 1 in OT, 4-3, and then 4-1. Like I said, they're on 6-2-2 run. That's the Utah Hockey Club, 2 points out of the last wild card spot. Oilers 2-game win streak. They're 5-5 in their last 10, coming off one of their better games for sure. The lineup: Skinner with McDavid and Hyman. That brings me so much joy. Perry with Draisaitl and Brown. RNH between Arvidsson and Podkolzin. And Janmark with Henrique and Kapanen. Max Jones and the recently called up Derek Ryan are the two that will sit out. Ekholm returns, which is huge. He's with Bush. Nurse with Wallman. Kulak with Emerson. Stetcher and Klimberg out. Calvin Pickard gets a start. You probably talked about it on Two Guys. You were a little surprised by this.
Didn't like it.
Okay.
Don't like it at all.
Because you're saying ride Skinner. And I understand that. I truly do. Skinner's coming off one of his better games. He is your guy. And I know people don't want to hear that, but he is. Maybe it's like, let's get him ready for Winnipeg, Dallas, Gage, or Seattle. I don't know. But it is interesting that Pickard's getting the start.
Very interesting. I think, no, I don't understand it. This doesn't make any sense to me. Your number one guy came off a game where made a game-saving save late, outdueled Shesterkin, got you the 2 points. Well, was a big part of the reason why you got the 2 points at the end of a road trip. Start feeling better about yourself. Start feeling better about his game in particular, and then you snub him for the next start. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's and listen, they have confidence in both guys, Joaquin. And Pickard played well, too, against the New York Islanders.
Oh,
both guys are coming off their best games in a while, so I understand it. But is this a case of like a scheduled start for Pickard, maybe?
I just don't know how you can do that at this point. You know, it's enough with the scheduling and making sure it's at this point, the way that both guys have been playing. I'm fine with Pickard where he's at. He's shown that he can take a few games off and come in and perform. But you want the level of Stuart Skinner to be really high. Yeah. And the way you do that, I'm sorry, it's not through practice and working on little things. It's getting into games, seeing game type situation, playing against teams that are playing for their playoffs lives, right? You want to be immersed in that type of environment as a goaltender. So you get ready for that when games like it's do or die situations here. I just,
It's because if this goes sideways tonight, we know what's going to happen. There's going to be questions of why they started him. But if he wins, it's all good. But yeah, I'm kind of Skinner. He's been struggling more than Pickard, and he finally played a really solid game, and you go away from him for the next one, which is, I'm with you, Gage. I think it's a little mind-boggling. How about Jeff Skinner getting the bump? His play is finally earning a look with Connor McDavid. How long it lasts remains to be seen.
Probably to 6-minute mark.
But good for him. He's worked his way up. It hasn't been easy for him, but how excited are you to see what he can do up there?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about excited because I don't think it'll last that long, to tell you the truth.
But in the last two games, the one thing is he's gone nuclear, but not as much as he has in the previous.
Well, last game, no.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a good sign. Who knows, maybe it's a little bit of he talked about going over video, right? Remember when they were really struggling there last week and the video's not going to show anything. It's a mindset.
Yeah, he's like at this point. Yeah.
It was probably a discussion as a group and hammering that message home that we have to adjust the way that we're playing, and you could see a little bit of that.
Oh, that's a good point. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens there. But good on him. He's earned it. We'll see what this lineup can do. I have a really good feeling about today's game.
Do you?
Yeah, I think the Oilers are going to come out and win like 5-1.
Didn't you say that when they got hammered by Buffalo?
No.
Oh.
You know why?
No.
They got Ekholm back.
Okay.
Their leader in the back end. Okay. The defense is awesome right now. They always seem to play super well with Pickard between the. They do. The lineup is good. I mean, I think all the guys. Max Jones. He's averaging 47 minutes a game. He's out. Derek Ryan just got recalled. I don't mind the lines today. I don't know. I have that feeling that the Edmonton Oilers have been hearing the smoke in the heat from all of us.
Well, they're constantly listening. It's playing in the Players' Lounge as we speak right now.
We're live. Hi, boys. And I just think they're ready to say, "Okay, come on, guys. We're Stanley Cup contender. Let's get this thing turned around. Let's go on a little bit of a run here." So, again, I've been wrong before, but I do think the Oilers roll tonight.
Okay.
You don't believe. Your belief is low, eh?
Yeah.
It's weird because you're such a positive guy. You're always talking everybody up here and come on, let's go. And then.
Well, I'm always right.
So you think they lose?
No, I think they win tonight.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a feeling. I don't think anyone's picking them to lose tonight.
I just I just feel and it's weird, and there's been studies on it of why a team starts out so slow after a road trip back home. But I just think the time of the year, and when you look at the games that are going on tonight, all have major implications for standings, right? So look at Calgary and New York. They're battling there. Like St. Louis, Nashville. St. Louis could jump ahead. Utah, obviously with the Oilers tonight. Winnipeg, Vancouver. It's like you could see lots of fluctuation in the division for playoff seeding, right? So it's exciting. I love this time of year when you kind of, I don't even know I've been at the rink and I don't even know, but I remember always looking up and they would have other scores of other games of what the scores are, just to go, okay, they're winning. Okay, we're here. And you do the mental calculations real quickly. It's fun to be scoreboard watching, not for, in the case of the Oilers, I mean, it's exciting to make the playoffs, but it's more so for home ice advantage and who they're playing, right? Yeah. So you're kind of always watching to see what's that first round. It's going to be LA, but whatever.
But Gager, we decided yesterday, the both of us, we're not going to give them the road trip excuse.
I know.
Okay.
I'm not giving them an excuse, but if they lay an egg,
it's going to come up. Someone's going to throw it on the nasty chat.
They're so negative. They're probably just going to suck tonight. 7-1 Utah.
5-1 Oilers. Who's with me? No one? Okay. You're right, though, Joaquin. Some good games tonight. Like, the Rangers are fighting for their playoff life, so are the Flames. Yeah. They meet. Montreal's trying to get in. Ottawa's trying to hold on. Big game.
That's a huge game, too.
Yeah. St. Louis needs to win. Utah needs to win. Vancouver needs to be the Jets. Just saw Connor Garland is a game-time decision.
Ooh.
And I think they have another player that might be out. I'm trying to look for it right now, but they're going to be in tough. And they've struggled at home. Wait, are they? Yeah, Vancouver struggled at home this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been really good. And they get the high-flying Winnipeg Jets. I mean, come on.
It'll be great.
It's going to be fun scoreboard watching tonight, that's for sure. John Carlos says Leon will Leon with goal 50 tonight. Yeah, that'd be great to do it in front of the home crowd. And, I mean, sprinkle a little bit of that on Leon. Leon's been awesome. Lars says, yes, 6-2 Oil. Katie says, I've been waiting for a dominating win for a while. Hope we see it. Damn straight. Keep the faith, Katie. Keep the faith, brother. Big Hugh says, I'm saying 6-2 Oil, Rico, Skinner, and Dry score. Bouchard to dash 3. He's getting... VR says, Oilers put up 10 tonight.
10? Come on, guys. You're not... This Utah team is rabid dogs fighting for their lives.
We'll talk to Brogan, but, I mean, Vemelka's their goaltender? Yeah. He's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. He was coming to Edmonton a couple of weeks ago.
VR says Reed promised us 2 10-goal games this year. What's the 7 is the most they've scored, right? Against Minnesota.
Was it 7-1-2? And
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how many was Pittsburgh?
6.
That's 6?
Yeah. I think it was 7.
Huh.
Chemo Man says 4-2 Oil. Vamos Oilers, he adds. Oilers put up 10, but Utah puts up 8. Old-fashioned hockey game. I take that.
I mean, give me a hockey game with like 3 or 4 lead changes. I'm all about it, man. Those are great. Those are so much fun.
Do you want to say I'm happy you took off your Red Bull jacket because this is not a Red Bull show? You're not allowed to wear it.
What? See, we talked about how mean you are to me. Now it's like there's a dress code. I had to talk
But
to
you're
Eric
a McLaren guy or Ferrari. Oh my. I talked to, Tim Horaney's going to join us tomorrow, so I don't want to ruin anything. But his podcast, Following the Race with Adam Wild, was awesome. I listened to
No, I haven't listened to it
yesterday when I was cooking. Tim's hilarious, man. At the gist of it, he was pretty much saying, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
It's
Nailing the
race.
Apex, if you haven't listened to it. It's great.
He's the best. Even his co-host, Adam Wild, man, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable. So hopefully we can get him on one day too. But Tim Horaney tomorrow, highlights, lowlights, Hernan's World, and of course breaking down the Oilers game. Oilers' big win tonight will be breaking down. Reed Wilkins says that was one of my overly optimistic predictions. I mean, it's not a bad one. Definitely not. Oilers haven't scored 10 in a game since November 26, 1996.
Well, who's the last 10-goal game?
Reed, was that against Calgary? If he's listening. I remember them scoring 10 against Calgary, and Ryan Smith was number 10. But he wasn't a rookie in 96, was he? No.
Yeah.
It could be that game.
Yeah. He established himself that year. Little Smitty.
Then he switched over to 94. The 10 did look sharp on him.
Yeah, I know. There's a few numbers that I think are the best.
Yeah.
10, 14, 18, 24 is pretty solid too.
You like 20? I like 21.
21?
Yeah. 21. Like my soccer number was 5. Still the defenseman. In soccer, it's kind of trendy. Like you have to wear a number like in the range of your position. Now guys go outside of that, but the tradition is that, right?
Yeah.
Like defensemen usually wear 2 to 6. And then you can wear like 15 to 20. It's weird.
Yeah. All these high numbers now, I'm not a huge fan of them. I liked the old school where the low numbers were usually defense, the higher numbers were forwards. Goalies were more, there was only a few goaltender numbers that you actually wore. Because I liked in men's league.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the summertime when you play against some young punks that have been drafted and stuff. So I remember playing against this one young punk, and he was like, Winnipeg Jets threw up all over him. Like obviously a draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets. And so his number was like 73 or something like that, right? And so he was yapping. I was skating by the bench, and I was like, "Oh, are you a Jets draft pick?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah." And he was like all kind of excited. I go, "Well, you're not making the team with that number." And then his benchmates kind of laughed at that one, but I don't know. Maybe he's an all-star. Maybe it's because now everyone's got these high numbers, but you could always rip young punks in the summertime with high numbers.
Who was the GM in Columbus that didn't allow high numbers? Remember when Hines went there and he wore 57 because Heinz ketchup?
Yeah.
And they didn't let him. And he had
Really?
25. There was a GM that would not allow players to wear high numbers.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
What a marketing genius if he could have done that.
Well, he did it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Columbus gave him permission. I might be off here. If anyone remembers that, when Hines, I can't remember his first name either, but he wore 57. I think he went to Columbus and they didn't want to let him because the GM or the president or whatever didn't like high numbers. Yeah. I say wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. All right. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Coming up next, we'll hear from Mattias Ekholm, who's missed the last 6 games. Says he finally got his voice back. We'll hear from the Viking as he makes his return tonight for the Oil. Heat and Smoke coming up. Brogan Houston from Utah as well here on EST Afternoons. Good start to the thumbs up. Let's keep hammering those. Let's get to 100 and keep the messages coming to the Nasty Chat in the River Korean box, 780-218-9999. Here's Koob with your sports update.
Edmonton hosts Utah with Zach Hyman and Mattias Ekholm returning to the Oilers lineup. Derek Ryan has also been recalled from the AHL. He's recorded 3 goals and 8 points in 13 appearances for the Condors. Tom Gazzola, Hernan, Salas break it all down during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 6 right here on EST. And there's 8 other games around the league. Flames and Rangers have a date. Detroit challenges Washington with Alex Ovechkin 8 goals away from breaking the all-time scoring record. After that, Vancouver hits the ice in Winnipeg. Meanwhile, Stars head coach Pete DeBoer says that there's a, quote, realistic possibility that Miro Heiskanen won't be ready until the second round of playoffs. Heiskanen underwent left knee surgery at the start of February, missing play since the end of January. And a light NBA slate has Golden State host Milwaukee, Brooklyn visiting Boston, the Hawks and Hornets butting heads before the Clippers take on the Cavs. And later, left-handed pitcher Eric Lauer starts on the mound for the Jays as they face the Orioles. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. On the other side of the break, we hear from the Viking himself, Mattias Ekholm. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's got the best flavor? Come taste the heat and get your wing fix anytime. Plus 69-cent wings all day Wednesdays. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
.125, welcome back to Edmonton Sports Talk, CST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Zach Kubusch, Hernan Salas with you here. Reed Wilkins coming up from 3 to 6. And then at 6, Tom Gazzola takes over for the Oil Stream pregame show. We'll be back later tonight with the good old post-game show. Did want to get to something here, Quager, but we were talking about shows, and I totally lost my train of thought. Bone says 3-2 Oil. They hold on late. Norbin a combine. 5-4 Oil. My heart says. Sure, my brain says 5-1 Utah. Not a lot of faith with this team right now, which is a little upsetting. Okay, so the Heinz 57 thing. It was
Did you
Harry
see this?
Sinden in
Yeah.
Boston denied him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he came from Columbus to Boston because I
And
think
then
in Columbus he wore 57.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people upset that Trent Frederick's not ready, but why? You knew this.
Yeah, he was probably not going to play. Who was it? One of the insiders. I forget who
Chris
it was.
Johnson.
Chris said that most likely he's not going to play till playoffs.
And it hasn't even been. And then the other timeline we got was 3 to 4 weeks. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since they acquired him.
Seems
So,
like he's been here his whole life.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why people would get upset when he's on the timeline that was given. He wasn't going to play this week. We all knew that. He's not even skating, guys.
Ugh. That's no good.
And that's an ankle injury, and he's not even skating. So he's still
He's mashed.
ways away.
Yeah.
A ways away. So, yeah, hopefully soon. Don't know when. My guess is probably into April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
There's no
look,
need to rush
I
him.
don't think he'll be able to get it back to 100%. Ankles, you ever roll your ankle?
I had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, it takes forever.
It's terrible, man.
It's awful. It's months.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a high ankle, low, whatever. What is a high ankle sprain? What do you have to do to get a high ankle sprain?
I think it's the high part of your ankle. No, I don't.
Or what's a low ankle sprain?
I
Like-
think it's more like.
Like a
Well,
Hernan's, for
Yeah,
everyone
that's
listening,
great radio.
Hernan's showing me his leg. It's shaved.
It's not actually. C-Run says gave up a lot for a rental not to play. Well, they knew that. We all knew that on March 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why you're surprised, C-Run. Now, if he comes in the last, say, he plays the last 8 games, for example, and he's really good in the playoffs, no one will come.
All is forgiven. Yeah, so I saw the way he went down, right? So kind of twist the foot,
Yeah.
and you're going one way and the leg's going the other, essentially, right? So
C-Run saying, look at the replay and you'll understand why. Well, I mean, that's on Stan Bowman. They traded for a guy that was hurt, and they must have got some good information from the doctors, all involved, that he will return this year. That's on Stan Bowman. No one else.
yeah, you can't trade a person without divulging all medical information, right? So they knew that he wasn't going to be ready. But I mean, geez, it's the thing that is a little bit worrisome, because you were getting conflicted reports. Like, oh, he's a week. Someone said a week, and then Chris said a month. And you're like, well, geez. No one does anyone really know how injured he is, and now he hasn't been on the ice at all. That shows that he's really not ready, or it's very precautionary, I guess. But I just find that NHL players, as soon as they feel okay, or you can't tell me he hasn't been in the dressing room trying to put his boot on, right? Yeah. And so if he's tying that thing up and there's pain, that's not good.
And Derek Ryan just got called up. They have 2 extras.
So it's not good.
No, and listen, I understand. Like, it was funny the day they acquired him. It was days before the deadline. Actually, it was before March 7th. Sorry.
Well, I came in all poopy pants too. So
but we were like, yeah, like this guy's a good player. And then like it lasted about 2 minutes, and they're like, but he's hurt. We're like,
that's when I came in. Hey, we got Frederick. Yeah. Oh, really? He's hurt. He's hurt. Oh, perfect.
Oh. So it was kind of bittersweet.
Oh
right?
yeah. I'd say just bitter.
And Max Jones is already out of the lineup. He's playing, I think his last 2 games, he combined for 11 minutes.
Nice.
So he's kind of tailed off after his impressive debut. So listen, C-Run, I get your frustration. You get a player at the deadline to help your team, and he's not ready, but this was the timeline. Chris Johnson wouldn't throw out a timeline like that without knowing he's one of the best insiders in the game. And then I think it came from some Oiler reporters or who I think John Shannon maybe had it that he might be a little bit sooner. But
yeah, that was who I heard it was sooner.
So it's not going to happen this week. Unlikely next week, guys. Like, we're already on Tuesday and he hasn't skated. They called up the extra forward. I get the frustration, but we all knew this was the case when they picked him up. So
Let me ask you something. If you're a professional hockey player, a good professional hockey player, and you've sat out the whole year, how are you feeling about coming in at playoffs?
Probably not good. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because it's different to Mark Stone and Kucherov, because those guys at least played games and they got hurt and then they sat out until the playoffs. This guy's been out for a while. He didn't even play the final 2 games or 3 games of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
So,
like, I just look at Kane. I go, like, I mean, it would be like, I don't think maybe one of the elites, but I'm just thinking from a goaltender standpoint, you're not even on the ice facing any shots, and it would be a catastrophe.
yeah.
Your timing is just, you would be. I remember when, was it last year? Aiden Hill was injured for a while, and he came in, who was a very structured goaltender, and, you know, his movement's quite precise. He looked like me out there. He was flailing all over the place, right? But you got to think, like Evander Kane, although he's extremely confident hockey player, there's got to be a little bit of butterflies. Am I going to be? The game will be so fast to him.
That's a good point. Like, he's not coming into the last 4 games of the regular season when everybody's kind of mailing it in.
No, he's got everyone at their best, right?
The Liquid Beaver, our good buddy, says the key difference between a high and low ankle sprain lies in the location of the injured ligaments. A high ankle sprains involve the ligaments connecting the tibia and fibula above the ankle joint, while low ankle sprains affect ligaments below the ankle joint.
Isn't the fibula the one that Connor McDavid kind of broke? Did he not break that one at the end of the 18-19 season, I believe it was, when he crashed into the net?
Wasn't that a knee?
That's
I remember that. Is that
your
when
ankle bones connected to your?
was that
knee bone.
Giordano tripping him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And they
break
did a
it.
documentary on his comeback.
Yeah, but that was his knee, though.
That was
wasn't
his
it?
knee, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't his leg. I remember him sitting there, and the trainer came, and he's all secretive, but you could read his lips. He goes, "It's broken."
Yeah,
and but it wasn't. It was his knee, I think.
K-Dub says, Kane's fine. We just need him to be fast enough to lay out the other team's best players. That's all the contribution that I expect of him.
Yeah, you need him to score is what you need.
Yeah.
I think, anyway.
And if Frederick ends up playing not a lot of games, it's a fail because they didn't get good information. Maybe it's not healing right. Who the hell knows? We haven't heard from Trent Frederick or anybody on him for almost since he got here. Couple
Can't you
days
get,
after.
like Mr. Miyagi to come in and rub his hands together and
and that music. Oh, that's the best. Yeah, Joe says Giordano tripped him and hurt his knee. Yeah. They weren't going to the playoffs that year either, right?
No, it was the last game of the year. It was like a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
And Gio trips him. Were Calgary going to the playoffs that year? I think they were, weren't they?
Oh, good question. Maybe, yeah. That was such a disappointing year for the Oilers off the year they had before. Oh,
It was massively disappointing.
so disappointing.
That was the bow on top of the, that injury was a. bow
Oh,
on
yeah.
top of
It
a
just,
bad
yeah.
season.
Why
It was
not?
just-
Why not
yeah.
put that cherry on top?
At least
too?
it was the end of the season. We were like, hey, he's going to be fine. He's got all summer.
But then you heard he wasn't going to be
Yeah.
fine.
Well, yeah, like he went to like 3 different doctors and stuff like that, right? He had to go back and console with another doctor. Did you guys watch that?
No.
Whatever it takes.
I never
it was,
watched
It was
it.
pretty good. It got me hyped up because he didn't do surgery. He just
No, he
recovered
read-
it. Yeah.
Koob, ain't nobody
He's a
got time
Canadian.
for that.
Oh, okay. You're
I'm
talking
kidding.
Daredevil during the break. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, he went to
Um,
go see Tibetan monks. And
Okay, let's run Mattias Ekholm, who makes his triumphant return to the Oilers lineup tonight. The Viking is back. Here he is.
A lot better. Got my voice back. But yeah, I've been battling a little bit of a lower body injury, and it's kept me out, obviously. But you guys have done a great job, and I'm feeling better. So that's exciting.
For a little while since you got to miss that many games, tell me about how excited you are to be back in the lineup here as the team comes home from your road trip.
Yeah, it's hard to watch on TV. I don't really like that at all. You want to be part of it, obviously, and especially during the stretch run coming down here. So I'm happy that I feel better. It was hard to watch, just not being able to be part of it, but I thought they did a good job.
Did that Four Nations take more out of you and maybe other guys than you guys might have expected going in?
Probably. I'm not saying because of that I got hurt, because that's two complete different things. But there was a big focus, and you haven't had best on best in so long. It's obviously everybody's excited, amped up for it, and it's so short. It's kind of like, well, you were there for a week and then it's over. So I do think it took a little bit out of everybody. I definitely think it gave things and gave energy for guys too. So whether it took from me or gave from me, that's impossible to answer. But I do think that there was obviously a lot of energy going into that, and now I think now maybe I feel completely rested, and I've obviously had a week off, so I should be. But for sure, I think you're onto something there.
You finally got your voice back. Sounds like fully. How does that feel, and what does your wife and kids think of that?
Yeah, that's obviously good. I think they liked it too. I couldn't yell at them. I couldn't tell them anything. Right? I was jokes aside, but yeah. Obviously, I'm a vocal player out there too, so I need my voice to be out there to be able to communicate, and that's a bigger hurdle than you might think. You're just laughing about it, whatever. Like, yeah, it's funny voice, but it is harder to play for sure when you can't communicate out there. So I'm happy to have it back.
Yes, what was the tipping point to not going on the trip? Because the thought was that you would. Obviously, you think it probably has done you some good, but why did you not go?
Because I was hurt. Yeah. Ultimately, ultimately that's what it was. Like, it's not that I was thinking, oh, nice, I can have 4 extra days here to just relax and rest, but I wasn't in game shape. That's bottom line. I had an injury where I still, obviously, it's not gone completely, but I can manage it now, and it feels really good. So we were thinking that maybe there was a chance to be able to join them mid-trip, but when we got to that point, there's obviously factors that goes into it, like could I have played that Sunday game, but then you got to fly out 4 hours, you got to battle the time zones, come back at 3 a.m. for one game. So there was a bunch of factors that went into that decision, but ultimately I was hurt and I wasn't in game shape.
This will be the first game you get to play since Jake was traded to the team. Can you just kind of talk about the opportunity for the whole group defensively to kind of play a game together and kind of get to know each other as you kind of head down the whole stretch here?
No, it's been exciting to watch him. I think he's done a great job fitting in with us. I think he plays a great style. He's very sound out there, and he can join the rush, and he makes good plays out there. So it looks like he's fit right in, and I think we have a strong team. We have about 15 games to go in the regular season. It's time to fine-tune those details and make sure we're dialed in come April 17 or whatever it is that the playoffs start. So hopefully we get everybody back here sooner rather than later, and we can start building that team game that will make us successful in the post.
That was Mattias Ekholm meeting with the media today, just laying it out, man. He was hurt. That's why he didn't go on the trip. Could have played on Sunday, but with the travel and all that, why would he? So excited to have him back. The tough guy, man. The question about the Four Nations, he was kind of like, well, it's a good question. I just don't know if it tired me out more or less.
Of course it did.
They played, 3 games? Yeah.
I'm not, it's not just physically, it's emotionally, getting that amped up, being that amped up for that amount of time.
Yeah.
That's going to drain you after a while. I felt drained just watching it.
And you're doing more media, and you're like, it's just a lot. So it's interesting for sure. But good to have him back. We're at 50 thumbs up. Well done, Nazis. We still got an hour and 20 minutes to go. So 153 watching. We only need 50 more to hit that thumbs up, and would be greatly appreciated. But Mattias Ekholm does return. He'll be partnered up with his guy, Mr. Evan Bouchard. Nurse with Wallman, Kulak, Emerson, Stetchen, Klimberg remain out. Skinner with McDavid and Hyman. Draisaitl between Perry and Brown. Pod Colson with RNH and Arvidsson. Janmark, Henrique Kapanen with Max Jones and Derek Ryan being your scratches. Interesting with the Utah Hockey Club, their penalty kill and power play are both ranked 13th in the league. So they're not bad. They're not bad at all.
They're those pesky little coyotes that you saw in that rinky-dink rink for the past couple seasons. You know, it's the same. It's weird when you look, because it doesn't feel like they're the same team, but they have some good players on that team, right? Like if you're not careful, they can make you pay.
They'll smack you around for sure. The portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light, where you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Up next, Heat and Smoke. We'll be challenged with some trivia. 1-1 the season series so far. I think Joaquin gets to go first. And we'll have some fun with Heat and Smoke with Koob as the host of the trivia. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons. Keep hammering the thumbs up and keep texting us to the River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. And of course, on the Nasty Chat. We're back after the break. Here's Koob with your sports update.
Zach Hyman and Mattias Ekholm are back for the Oilers as they face the hockey club. Derek Ryan also gets recalled from Bakersfield. He played 13 games for the Condors this season, recording 8 points as he heads to the Oilers press box. Catch Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 o'clock to tee up the action only on EST. We also see the Canadians meet the Senators. St. Louis hitting the road in Nashville. Chicago hosting Seattle, and the Red Wings matching up against the Capitals, having 9 games around the NHL. And in Dallas, Miro Heiskanen's timeline is in question, with Stars bench boss Pete DeBoer saying that the Finnish star has a, quote, realistic possibility he might not be back until the second round of the playoffs. He's been out since late January recovering from a surgery on his left knee. On the court, Atlanta plays Charlotte. The Celtics meet the Nets. The Cavs battle the Clippers, and the Warriors tip off against the Bucks, seeing 4 games around the association. In spring training has Toronto taking on Baltimore. Eric Lauer being named as the Jays' starting pitcher for the contest. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. Heat and Smoke up next with trivia between Hernan and Gager. I'm Zachary Koob, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
The old story of the Oilers watching the Islanders with the ice bags on their knees and heads instead of celebrating. I think the Oilers have learned how to lose, and I think they've also learned how to win, and I think they've flown too close to the sun. It's hard to get back up for these types of games. You get to that point where you're craving the conference finals again.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't forget me when I'm gone. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
1:45. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. I just want to try something, guys, okay? Oop. Again, it's not working. I just had it connected, boys. Yeah, it should be. Don't know what's going on here, fellas.
It's coming in loud and clear on that computer, though.
It never fails. Anyways. Oh.
What are you doing over there?
That wasn't me. Was that me?
No. I could blame it on you. That was me. That was me. That was my bad.
I thought it was, I was like, that's not me. I'm not playing out of those tunes here. But it is time to get to some heat and smoke. 1-1, Gager. Been really tough. Been a tough go.
It has been. For you guys.
Been really tough for us. And we'll see what Koob has for us today.
Well, we kind of go back and forth, right? Like, it's like... There we go. Thanks for cutting me off, Hernan.
Sorry, man.
We kind of go back and forth.
20 seconds start now.
Okay. So yeah, you're just testing all your sounds.
Well, we're gonna give because we're giving way too much time to answer, so there's got to be a break here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the board's working, everybody. Okay, let's kick it off. It's time for Heat and Smoke.
Right on. So, Hernan, I think you won 4-1 last Tuesday.
I sure did.
So it's 1-1 on the series a couple other times that we did it. It was kind of a stalemate because the questions were too hard, but we've kind of been going back and forth a little bit from like Zach to the future where you guys give me some pretty hard questions. Last week was pretty hard, but I didn't really ramp it up too much. I don't think I did at all, actually, for this week. You guys should know all of these questions, I believe. I think you guys can figure it out, kind of mull it over a little bit. But Gager, you are the first one to start. So once I ask the question, you can give me the answer and
shoot. Let's go.
Awesome. So besides Wayne Gretzky, who has the most 60-goal seasons in the NHL all time?
60-goal seasons. I will have to say that would be Phil Esposito.
Phil Esposito is fourth on the list. He has 4.
Boo! You suck!
Jesus.
Hernan?
60-goal seasons?
60-goal seasons.
Don't be looking at the nasty chat.
I'm not.
You're looking right at your screen.
Yeah, but look.
Gretzky, he had 5 60-goal seasons in his career. And he's tied with...
Okay, I'll just go Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux, his third. He has 4 of his own, so he's tied there with Phil Esposito. There's only one other player who has 5 60-goal seasons who kind of shares the record.
Give it to us.
Well, you get another guess.
No, if we both get it wrong, it's over. Yeah.
Oh,
we're not going to keep going. We'll be here forever.
It's Mike Bossy. Just 10 seasons in the NHL. He had 5 60-goal seasons and 9 50-goal seasons. 700 point seasons. Oh, yeah. And he didn't really play many full seasons.
You know, I had him. Yeah. I had him, and I went with Mario instead.
Really? I was going to go Brett Hull. I wasn't sure.
It's another good guess. So.
All right.
He's fifth.
All right.
He's
Question
fifth
2.
Question numero 2. Patrick Kane had a 5-point game last week against the Sabres, snapping a 6-game losing streak for the Red Wings there. Wayne Gretzky did that a lot. He had multiple 5-point games. How many 5-point games did number 99 have in his career?
I'm going to say 36.
36 is not the right answer. And whoever gets it closer. You guys get a couple guesses on this one because it's a specific, it's a pretty
he picks
big
one
right?
number, I pick one, closest wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Well, now we got to do math.
Not really. I'm going to say 5-point games. I mean, this guy was an absolute unit. 51.
Well, you are closer. 51 is you're kind of underplaying the great one. He had 96 5-point games, which is wild. One time in a single season, he had 15.
Oh my gosh.
He had 15 5-point games in a single
Imagine if there was
season.
like betting sites back then.
Buddy, 96.
Over 2.5 points, right? I know that's nearly 500 points.
96 5-point games.
Yeah, that's nearly,
480 points.
Yeah. He's pretty good at hockey. He's pretty good at hockey. Yeah.
Shorted him, man.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's crazy, right? Like, it's a crazy kind of stat.
This.
He's definitely the
Holy
great
smokes.
one. And he holds the top 10 for, like, in a season. He holds the top 10 for most.
Yeah, he's got
games in a
more
season.
5-point games than a lot of people have points.
Yeah, right? It is surely something. The next closest for the 5-pointers is Mario Lemieux with 51.
Yeah.
So almost
look
half
at
that amount,
I
right?
said 51. Are you sure it wasn't Mario the question?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah,
you were
right.
thinking Mario. That's right.
All right. The next question. So Alex Ovechkin 8 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record. What did Alex Ovechkin miss some time for earlier this season? What did he injure?
That was a broken tibia.
That is wrong.
Broken leg.
Well, a little more specific than that. Come on.
I don't know.
A left fibula fracture.
Fibula.
We're talking fibulas, guys. He missed
Jesus.
16 games. He was injured.
I should
knee
get it
collision
because
with
it's broken
Utah's
leg.
I
Jack
said
McBain.
broken leg too.
Did you?
Well,
There's
you
two
said
bones in
you
the
said
leg.
you said tibula, but you got it wrong. I said broken leg, which is technically correct.
well, it's not fully broken. It's a fracture. But
That's a fracture.
technically.
Fractured leg.
Yeah, these are pretty hard. Jeez.
Man, we suck.
Yeah. Well, you guys only want
At
to
least
guess
I was
one
closer
time.
than
I was
you.
trying to- yeah.
You just threw the dart
I
at
think
the
so.
dartboard.
Yeah, you're trying
I
to
said
be a little
leg.
scientific. You know.
Well, so did I. He
did
didn't
bring
break
that
his
one in,
leg. He
right?
broke a bone in the body.
But it's in the leg. Okay, whatever.
It's a part of the leg. It's not okay. Leon Draisaitl extended his point streak to 18 straight games with at least 1 point in his last game there. When was the last time an Oilers forward recorded at least an 18-game point streak or longer? So when was the last time an Oilers forward did that? Which year? Just give me a year. It's that plain and simple.
A year?
A year.
Can we give you a player?
No, because that's way too easy.
Player of the 18 games.
Or more.
No.
I want to
I'm going to
stress the more.
say 89.
89.
I'm going to say 86, 87 season.
I'll just throw two.
You don't have to see. Yeah.
Throw 2
yeah.
years on
86.
that? What, can I throw
Well,
2 years?
86.
Well, I'm going to take your first answer there. It is 1986.
Yeah!
Wayne Gretzky did it. He had a 19-game point streak. He also had a 39-game point streak in that season. That was a little bit earlier. I think it was a 85, 86 season or whatever. But in 1986, he did have a 19-game point
well,
streak.
he couldn't play defense.
1-0 for
He wasn't paid to. Right on. So 1-0 Hernan through 4 questions. But all right, let's go to the next one. Gager, I think you might know this one.
Okay.
So Lando Norris picked up the win, of course, in the opening race of the 75th F1 season. How many races has Lando Norris won in F1 in his career?
Jeez.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 5.
Yeah, you got it. There we go.
Yes.
Asking the F1 guy the F1
toss-up.
question.
And why didn't it start with me? I just got
Because
the
you
correct-
just got
Losers
the right
outs.
question. Yeah, the winner passes. That's always been the rule.
We really got to get the rule book
Yeah, no, we don't
hashed
really.
out here
It's,
because we're just doing stuff.
Well, we did it.
Yeah.
So
And that's crazy because those all came starting last year, right?
I
'Cause
know.
he was Lando no win for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good job, Gager.
And there were shades of, well, they don't have the race in Russia, but do you remember that race when Lando went off? Like it started raining in Russia and he was leading, and then he.
It's in Drive to Survive. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And McLaren had a really poor strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Right on. Well, this one is also F1 related. So the Chinese Grand Prix is the one upcoming next weekend, race week, always. And who is the most successful driver at the Chinese Grand Prix? So
Like
who has
current?
won it the most?
Current?
All time.
Oh,
All
boy.
time.
Gee, I don't know.
Well, it hasn't been around for that long, right? Like it hasn't.
Oh, well, you go first then.
No,
It's only been around since they've
Okay.
hosted the circuit, the Shanghai International Circuit since 2004. And I know it's in Hong Kong or something, but since 2004.
I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. He's won 6 races in 08. In 11, he won. In 14, 15, 17, and in 2019 was his last win.
Wow.
Well, boys, I only have one more question. It's tied.
Okay, so it's 2-1. No.
Yeah, we know Hernan. You're
No,
leading
it's
by
2-2,
one.
right?
Jeez.
2-2. Yeah.
Is it?
Because you got Lando and...
No, I just got Lando. It's 2-1. Are
Is
you
it?
writing? What are you writing down over there? You say
I
it says
don't know what he's
2-1
writing
right
down,
there.
man.
No, but I might have missed one.
No, I think
It's
No.
2-1.
It's gotta
Okay,
be 2-1, right?
So Gager can tie it, and then you need a wild card quick.
I need to come up with one on the
Cut
spot.
the tension with a knife in here.
Jeez. Yeah, okay. Well, okay. This is, which one am I going with here? Okay, I'm going with the harder one. Okay, this will be a double whammy at one, actually. So, John Marino is a defenseman for the Utah Hockey Club, which the Oilers will be facing tonight. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, live at 6 right here on EST. Tom Gazzola, Hernan, Salas. But John Marino was once an Oiler, and he was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins for what?
He was traded to the Penguins?
He was traded to the Penguins. His rights were traded to the Penguins for what? And I know it was a few years ago, but it was in the 20s, as we are in now. So within the last 5 years.
To the Penguins for...
Oh, yeah. Now it's starting to come back.
Because he didn't really want to sign with the, there was some, whatever it was, some rigmarole, some
Isn't it
tension there.
Oh, I don't know. I want to say it wasn't a player, though.
I just need the answer, man. You don't got much time.
I'll say picks. But
What pick? You got to give me a specific pick here. You can't
Marino
just say
is a
pick.
big first rounder.
That is wrong. Hernan?
Well, yeah, sets you up. You can just pick one of the rounds.
Well, I don't know if he's a pick. Did he say he was?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say yes or no.
John Marino.
But I know it's not a
rights
first
to
round
John
pick.
Marino, and it wasn't a high-end name. If I'm trying to...
If there was a name involved, even.
His father, Dan?
Dan Marino.
I'll say...
Dolphins quarterback?
Third-round pick.
Well, you were a little bit closer. It was a 6th round pick in 2021. I guess the tiebreaker here now, we're going deeper here. What did that 2021 6th round pick become for the Oilers? They did select a player who is still a part of the overall organization. He's not playing professional hockey, let's say. Well, no, he is. He's in the AHL, I'll give you that much. But which player who's currently on the Condors was drafted by the Oilers with that 6th round pick in 2021? He's a prospect. He's a genuine, he's
I'll
a
go...
6th rounder. He's a deep pick.
Can I go?
Well, no, it's
Okay.
Gager. You got it wrong. Come on.
No clue.
No clue?
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be a cool name if somebody's name was No Clue.
No clue.
Yeah.
Petrov?
Yeah. Matvei Petrov was who the Oilers ended up getting for...
Do you have a life?
I don't know if I do. Yeah. Well, my other question was the Nick Bukestad kind of trade.
I would have got that.
There, yeah. It was Michael Kessering and a 3rd rounder and for Nick Bukestad.
Hernan go home and scouring the...
Yeah, jeez. I thought those were easy questions.
Let's go.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right. Good stuff, Koob. That was tough once again. I'm not going to lie.
very
Well,
tough.
I thought you guys would have a couple.
Didn't know I had to scour the American Hockey League rosters, but I guess Hernan doesn't.
Oh, boy.
Loves that. Smoking darts, looking at the...
I just look at draft picks, bro.
As a young boy.
As a young boy, Hernan
running
just,
in the streets of Chile with just his little shorts
in a dart.
and a dart with an almanac of American Hockey League rosters.
Well, if you look at the Condors right now, they don't have a. I mean, Petrov kind of stood out on his own.
Did he?
Because the rest of the guys are long, like they've been in the AHL for a while. Seth Griffith, guys like that, right? So it's like it's got to be one. It's got to be Petrov or
who else would it be?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But 180th overall pick in 2021. In 40 games, he has 15 points, 8 goals, 7 assists.
Interesting.
Better than the prior season.
John Marino, eh?
John Marino, yep. I don't know. He wore number, 6 for the Penguins and then was signed and then traded to the Devils. And then
I like this from Norm in a Combine. Here's a question. What current NHL coach was traded to Edmonton, never played a game, was then traded to Calgary? Who am I? Ooh.
What is it again?
Current NHL coach was traded to Edmonton, never played a game, and was then traded to Calgary.
Huska?
Give us the answer, Norm. We don't know. I don't know that, man.
It's deeper than a heat and smoke question.
That's a good one. Anywho. Hernan now takes the season series 2-1 right now. That was tough. It was fun, though. Good job, Koob, on the questions.
Good for you.
Boo, boo. All right, coming up in hour 2, we'll continue the Oilers conversation. Brogan Houston from the Deseret Sports News will join us to talk all things Utah. Keep the messages coming to the River Korean box 780-218-9999 or on the Nasty Chat. 64 thumbs up. We're getting closer and closer. Keep hammering that thumbs up for us. That does it for Hour 1 here on EST Afternoons. We're back with Hour 2.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Draisaitl looks like he yells out "screw you" when he shoots the puck.
When he goes off the rails, sometimes like he has to bring that to play as good as he does. It's like he's upset, he's angry at something every time he just launches into it.
That is Luke Gazek, the former Edmonton Oiler, now on Sportsnet. Check it in. Love chatting with him.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves. You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brewhouse with epic food, killer drinks, and an unbeatable vibe. Plus, download the Canadian Brewhouse app and score free nachos on your big day. Book your party now to celebrate like a pro. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Edmonton hosts Utah with Zach Hyman and Mattias Ekholm returning to the Oilers lineup. Derek Ryan has also been recalled from the AHL, recording 3 goals and 8 points in 13 games for the Condors this season. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas break it all down during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 6 right here on EST. 8 other games around the league. Flames and Rangers have a date. Detroit challenges Washington. Alex Ovechkin just 8 goals away from breaking the all-time scoring record. After that, Vancouver hits the ice in Winnipeg. Meanwhile, Stars head coach Pete DeBoer says that there is a, quote, realistic possibility that Miro Heiskanen won't be ready until the second round of playoffs. Heiskanen underwent left knee surgery at the start of February, missing play since the end of January. A light NBA slate has Golden State host Milwaukee, Brooklyn visiting Boston, the Hawks and Hornets butting heads before the Clippers take on the Cavs. And later, left-handed pitcher Eric Lauer starts on the mound for the Jays as they face the Orioles. I'm Zachary Koob. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoons starts right now.
Hour 2, EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas, Zach Kubusch with you. Reed Wilkins coming up from 3 to 6. Then it's the Oil Stream pregame show, 6 to 7. It's been a while since we've done a home pregame show. It almost feels weird, but it should be fun.
You're all alone. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah. Play some vids. Brought my book. Yeah. I'll hang out. Get some snacks later, maybe.
Snacks?
Like a bag of chips or something.
Oh.
A nice Diet Coke Zero. Not a Diet Coke Zero.
I didn't tell you about my dream last night, did I?
No. Please do.
It was awful. So it was dumb because I was looking at my phone before bed, and the last thing I saw was some woman that was she was applying for a U.S. visa.
Yeah.
She got detained by ICE and stuff, and so that was on my mind, I guess. So I was flying down to Phoenix or Arizona somewhere, and with my daughter because she had won this thing.
Oh, okay.
And we get there, and I get detained, and I'm like, no, and they gave me to the cartel for some reason.
What?
And I don't know. My daughter was gone. I couldn't find her, and they gave me to the cartel because I said, guys, come on, just I hate to say this, but just Google me. You know, I'll pop up, and then they Googled me and goes, well, we don't need this heat. Like I'm some superstar in my dreams, I guess. I don't know, but they dropped me in the middle of the desert, and I was walking around, and you know how you get to a dream and go, you know what, this is pretty weird. I don't think this could actually happen, and I woke myself up, but man, it sucked. I was in the middle of the desert trying to figure out which way was north and stuff to start walking north.
Wow, the cartel, eh? Yeah, you need to get off your phone before bed, brother.
Man, it was awful. I don't know why I completely forgot about it. And just going to get the tea, I just remembered that. Terrible,
man. Craig Perube was the answer to
the cartel?
No, to Norm in the Combines question.
Yeah, no, that's
And then no difference between a break and a fracture from Raider Jesse. Okay, cool. Hey, River Cranbox, 780-218-9999. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. If you're listening, it's iHeart, TuneIn, or EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Slam that thumbs up. We're 34 away from 100. We need to get there. Oilers, 5-1 winners today. Who's with me? Gager also thinks they're going to win, but not by that much, right?
No.
Do you remember?
I don't know.
This one says, Gager, trivia for you. Do you remember in your first career NHL start who scored the first 3 goals on you? I don't know why, but I watched the game last night. It came across my feed.
Jesus. First 3?
Didn't you win your first game?
No. I know Sundin scored 1.
Okay.
Gilmore? Maybe Wendell?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I only own nothing. No one but the best scored goals on me.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah. I'm not going, who?
Yeah,
it's
no.
Like top notch.
No, Gilmore did, I know, and Sundin did. Yeah, I don't, maybe. If you watch Rock'em Sock'em 5, I think Gilmore's in there putting it between my legs. But.
Well, let us know, Hersey. You're the one that's... Giancarlo, maybe Gager was thinking about young Hernan running around the streets of Chile.
No, because that's a joyful time, John. Little Nanso with a dart and a big saggy diaper running around.
Jesus. Oh, boy. No. I was born here. Maybe Mill Woods I was running around. Yeah, I grew up in Mill Woods. Mill Woods for life. Mill Woods for life. Who's with me? Where's Max Pazuzu? He's been MIA on the Nasty Chat. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Max Pazuzu is MIA. MIA.
I just, Man, maybe it is. Maybe I'm thinking about you running around the streets of Chile too much.
Hey, happy birthday to friend of the show from the factory. Brant Meyer's birthday today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Brant.
51.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Beauty.
older than him. Darn it, right. Yeah, but he's lived like 18 lifetimes. So
Yeah, he's
what
awesome,
a great guy.
man.
Some of his, like you see his clips from his podcast. If unhammered, if you're looking for some unique perspective on life and some of the greatest storytelling ever, go check out Brent.
Like Carey Price was awesome. He had Sheldon Surrey on. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's really well done. Like the shots they have, like the setup, like they've really stepped up their podcasting game. So big happy birthday to friend of the show, Brant Myers. Played with Gager at the factory in Portland. So all good. Hey, Gager, how about this? On this day, 28 years ago, the Buffalo Sabres acquire Miro Shatan for Craig Miller and Barry Moore, one of the worst trades in Oilers history.
Yeah, I played with both those guys in the minors.
Were they good dudes?
Awesome dudes.
Wasn't Craig Miller supposed to be really good?
Yeah. D-man.
Yeah.
Really funny guy. But Barry Moore was supposed to be a sniper. And he was in the minors, he was talented, but
they weren't no Miro Shatan.
No, not at all. That's weird. They traded him for.
They gave up on him pretty quick.
Yeah, they did. Well, he wasn't gelling with. He came from the minors. I thought he was going to score with Doug Ears, and it just didn't work out, right? But again, they probably should have given it a little bit more time.
And that's Miro Shatan going to the Sabres, not the Devils.
Yeah, not like Koob said. The Barry. Yeah, he was at the last game at Rexall too. Saw him. God, what a great God. He's just so funny. Some of those guys they just had a blast with.
The Oilers weren't done there, buddy.
No.
28 years ago, again, obviously it's probably trade deadline day. The Edmonton Oilers acquire Drew Bannister.
Banny.
And a 6th-round pick in 97, which turned out to be Peter Sarno. Do you remember Peter Sarno?
Oh, yeah. Some of the worst breath in hockey.
From the Lightning for Jeff Norton.
Norts.
Yeah.
God, I played with all these guys. Who was the first guy?
Drew Bannister.
Banny, yeah. So played with Banny in Germany.
Yeah.
And there was this little restaurant that we would go to. It was just outside of town a little bit. And the chef we didn't get menus. He would just start bringing food and wine like crazy. And I don't know, you've probably never seen Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy. You ever see that movie?
No. I've heard of it.
So there's a scene where Eddie Murphy goes into the bathroom and the kids have all been in there and he's got a look of horror on his face. Like he's looking down.
Yeah.
And then he actually looks up and goes, like, how do the kids get stuff? You don't see what actually happened. We were at this restaurant and way too much wine was consumed. And he's not coaching anymore, so I can say it. But I walked in there after Banny and he puked all like it looked like a crime scene. I thought he killed someone in there with the amount of red wine that was splattered. Really? Oh my God, it was unbelievable. It was everywhere. He must have been projectile all over the place. God, it was gross, but I was dying laughing afterwards.
Oh boy. I love the 90s Oilers and I love that you played with all of these guys. Peter Sarner was a good little dude though. Little player. Never could make it in the
he was skilled too. Really skilled.
But just needed a mint from time to time.
Oh my gosh, it was just punishing. You didn't want to be in a cab with him, that's for sure.
He only played 6 games for the Oilers. Scored 1 goal in those in that time. Only 7 total NHL games.
I remember because it was preseason. We were playing the Leafs. I went in halfway, and Sarno was like, it was, mixed squads from guys in the minors and stuff, and went to overtime, and Sarns threw a pizza right up the middle, and Sundin got it.
Yeah,
and he came in and roofed it in overtime on me, and they won. And afterwards, Peter's trying to, like, I'm upset, but whatever, but Sarno's trying to come and say sorry because he gave the puck away, but his breath was so bad that it looked really bad because I was kind of pushing him away, but because I couldn't stand his breath. It was just but it looked like I was getting mad at him because he gave the puck away. So I had to go and apologize. And I knew him, so I just go, Peter, your breath's terrible, man.
That's why I was pushing you away. Oh, that's too funny. Too funny. Lars says Mill Hoods. Hey, come on, Lars. It's not that bad. Caster says, so far it's been Mill Woods for most of my adult life. Bronco Nick, Mill Woods, ? More like insert your own. Ooh. You know what?
What?
You're Southside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever go into Mill Woods?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Mill Woods is fine.
I don't go in the dark.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad or good. It kind of depends on what area of whatever neighborhood you're in.
I lived most of my, growing up, I lived in Mill Woods into my 20s, and then kind of like Southwest, and then downtown. But Mill Woods, yeah, I had.
What parts of Chile resemble the parts of Mill Woods?
Jeez.
We're beating this thing, that horse.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister-in-law, she grew up in Mill Woods. It's just it gets a bad rap, I think.
I mean, there were some, like when I was growing up, there were some bad moments for sure, but like in any neighborhood. But I don't think it's as bad now. Because I find Mill Woods is a lot of it's a lot of older people now too, right, that have stayed there.
There's like a old trailer park in the middle of Mill Woods. You ever see that?
Which one?
I didn't know it existed till I was slinging the RG6 one time, and I had a service call, and you're driving through Mill Woods, and you kind of go, all those little windy streets, and then you get in there, and all of a sudden I was like, this is a trailer park. But they're whatever, the double wides, but they're permanently there. But they're actually trailers that look like homes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Exactly.
Like one of those double wide trailers.
Yeah, but they're all there. They're all in there. I was like,
Big Uke. Didn't realize there was Mill Woods in Chile. Is that where you learned to smoke? I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker.
Gager's the smoker.
Yeah.
John Carlos says, maybe if you base Mill Woods Town Center as a representation of Mill Woods, yes, it's bad. No, I grew up around that.
I'd say that area isn't preferred after, 7:30.
No, come on.
Both my kids were born in Mill Woods, I guess you could say.
I mean, you can go there at night. Nothing's going to happen to you. Come on.
As long as you
come on,
stay on the other side of the street and, walk pretty fast.
I love Mill Woods. Mill Woods for life. As we say hello to the WSTers, La Hustlerites, the, what am I missing? The Winnipeggers.
Oh, they got a big game tonight, huh? Winnipeg, are you shaking in your boots?
And then, are you shaking in your boots on Thursday when the Oilers beat you?
Oh, what's going to happen?
Let's go.
What's going to happen on Thursday's show? We've been such good friends.
I know. Friends off for one day. But you can still come in and watch. We're going to talk a lot of smack about it.
We can talk smack.
We'll talk about why Hellebuck shouldn't be the Hart Trophy candidate. We can also we'll have a Winnipeg guest on for sure. So you're going to want to tune in to EST because we're going to go back and forth with our WST friends. And it's going to be fun. That game's going to be awesome. No matter where they are in the standings, every time Winnipeg and Edmonton meet, it's a good game. Outside of a few blowouts by Winnipeg, but we won't talk about that. So
they've been rolling, hey? Winnipeg, winners of last 3, New York, Dallas, Seattle, and a big game against the Canucks tonight.
Matt Hyman says, I'm going to give the show a thumbs down. Oh, no, don't do that. Hey, it's all in good fun, but we're enemies on Thursday. That's plain and simple. Well, we're not, but the fan base.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of people informing me on what happened in the woods. It's all good. All right, we got to get out. It's Brogan Houston will join us next to tee up the Utah Hockey Club, who are on quite of an impressive roll right now. 6-2-2 in their last 10, 2 points out of a wild card spot, and a lot of games to scoreboard watch tonight for all teams involved in that. So it should be a fun one down at Rogers Place. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We're back after the break as we continue to tee up Oilers and Utah.
Seeking 3 straight wins, the Oilers welcome back Zach Hyman and Mattias Ekholm from injury to battle the hockey club. Plus, Derek Ryan heads to the press box. He's been recalled from the Condors, recording 8 points in 13 AHL games this season. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live at 6 to preview the action right here on EST. We also see the Canadiens meet the Senators. St. Louis hitting the road in Nashville. Chicago hosting Seattle, and the Red Wings matching up against the Capitals, having 9 games around the NHL. Miro Heiskanen continues to recover from his knee surgery. Stars head coach Pete DeBoer saying that he has a, quote, realistic possibility that he might not be back until the second round of playoffs. Heiskanen has missed time since late January. And on the court, Atlanta plays Charlotte. The Celtics meet the Nets. The Cavs battle the Clippers, and the Warriors tip off against the Bucks, seeing 4 games around the association. Spring training has Toronto taking on Baltimore. Eric Lauer being named as the Jays' starting pitcher for the contest. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. Step into a whole new golfing experience with 240 unique courses for you to play, featuring innovative technology that automatically tees the ball up for you, shifting the ball in 24 different directions. Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Visit their website at gimmevirtualgolf.ca. Brogan Houston joins us on the other side of the break to preview the hockey club against the Oilers. I'm Zachary Koob, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Someday you'll be shedding your tears.
A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
.226, welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. How you doing? It's Oilers game day. Reed Wilkins coming up from 3 to 6, followed by the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola at 6, and then we'll be back for all the recap of the action tonight. Hopefully an Oilers win. They can continue to build off their 2-game win streak to close out their 4-game road trip that ended on Sunday in New York, to talk all things Utah. I keep wanting to say Utah Jazz. Utah Hockey Club. They really need a name. Brogan Houston from the Deseret Sports News joins us. Brogan, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Hey, gentlemen. Good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I take it you're not in Edmonton?
No, but it feels like I am with how much snow we've got today. This is, I swear, the most snow we've gotten all year is today. It's almost April. I don't know why.
Oh, buddy, that's the norm here. We finally got out of a little bit of a cold snap as well. But Brogan, let's talk about this team. 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're really coming on and getting hot at the right time. 2 points out of the wild card spot. What's led to their success as of late that has them really close to locking down a wild card spot?
Yeah, I think I'll say two things. One is that sense of urgency, like, oh, hey, the playoffs are only, less than 20 games away. And so, there's that urgency of like, hey, we got to get in, we got to do something now if we're ever going to get into this thing. The other thing is they've got all their injured defensemen back, and that's a huge thing. They had Sean Dursey and John Marino missing for most of the season. And because of that, they had to, bring in Oli Mata. They had some waiver claims that were playing a lot of games, and some of them did pretty well, but it's no Sean Dursey or John Marino, right? And so I think that kind of, that perfect storm kind of emerged at the same time of everybody being healthy. They also got Logan Cooley back right at the same time, who's among their leading scorers. And so, it was just that perfect storm of like, hey, we got to get going right now. And hey, we got all these guys back, and let's try and see if we can get a spot.
Brogan, is this team finally showing those signs that I think, at the end of the seasons over the last few seasons, you always said, okay, they're taking huge steps here towards becoming a playoff team, a younger team. Is this kind of you're finally seeing the maturation of certain players and how they're approaching the game? And do you, in your mind, can they finally lock down one of those wild card spots?
Yeah, I guess we'll see if they actually can, but they are certainly trending in the right direction right now. As for the maturity, I think you hit it right on the head there. Keller and Sergachev and all these guys, they're starting to become those number one guys rather than those secondary scorers, or those, Sergachev was a number 2 or 3 defenseman his whole career, and now he's a bona fide number one. Plays, I think he's averaged the 4th most minutes in the league of any player this year. And so guys like that, they're kind of maturing like that. And then guys like Logan Cooley and Dylan Guenther, they're proving that they can now be those secondary and maybe even primary scorers. And they're only getting better. Like, they'll be better next year, I'm sure, and every year after that, for a long time.
Yeah, Brogan, I was looking at their special teams. Interesting. They're ranked 13th both on the power play and the PK, 80% on the PK, which is a bit higher than the Edmonton Oilers, and they're only 3% lower than the Oilers on the power play. What's been working for them special teams-wise?
Well, you guys are familiar with Dylan Guenther's one-timer on the power play. I'm sure you guys watched him in Oil Kings organization all those years. That is a weapon, I'll tell you that. Kind of that Ovechkin Laine kind of shot on the power play there. And then, as far as the special teams, the penalty kill, I just kind of think like they've got some guys dialed in. They brought in Kevin Stenlund, who won the Stanley Cup last year with the Florida Panthers. And his entire job that year for Florida, he played every game, and his entire job was to kill penalties. He played more time on the penalty kill than Alex Barkov. That's saying something. And so he's dialed in. Alex Kerfoot is their other guy on the penalty kill, and he's dialed in too. And then Cooley takes a turn, and McBain takes a turn, and those guys are all they're bought into the right system, and they're doing the right things.
Talking about Vejmelka, the goaltender, here in Edmonton, there was rumblings that they wanted to get him out of Utah but looking at his numbers, what has he meant to this team? And obviously, the Utah staff have rewarded him with a new contract. Has he kind of been the stabling force back there, like you mentioned, without the additions or losing some of their key defensemen throughout the better part of the year?
Yeah, you know what? I'll say one thing. I saw lots of those proposed trades coming out of Edmonton and everywhere else saying, "Hey, give us Vejmelka for a 6th round pick or something like that." Yeah. I ran into Bill Armstrong at the rink one day, and a few of us were kind of talking about some of those, and he was just laughing. He's like, "These guys have no idea." Karel Vejmelka legitimately is one of the most valuable players on this team. Just from a standpoint of, if they didn't have him, they wouldn't be in this playoff race at all. Yeah. And so for that reason, I don't think it was ever close to moving on from him. It was no surprise to anybody here that they extended him for a decent chunk of term. And it's good for him that he got, life-changing money. That's great for him.
Oh, Brogan, if you only knew the trade proposals we get here at the EST for multiple players. All right, so I'm seeing Alex Kerfoot. Before I say that, the coach said no lineup changes from their game in Vancouver. So Kerfoot, number 1 center, Hayton, the number 2 center. Who do you see going toe-to-toe with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, as they will start on separate lines?
Yeah, well, I mentioned that Alex Kerfoot, he's kind of, that penalty killing kind of guy, but yeah. I should just say defensive specialist. That's really what he brings to the table. His offensive numbers aren't as good this year as they were last year, but he's still as valuable because he plays that kind of shutdown role. And with him being on the first line, he's played on every single line this year. He's played center, left wing, right wing. He's played every single position on the entire team this year. But with him being on the first line at center, that gives him the ability to, be in charge of either McDavid or Draisaitl, whoever they have matched up against him. So I think that's number one. And then I mentioned Logan Cooley as well. I sound like a broken record with this guy, but he really is. I think he has the highest ceiling of any U23 player other than Bedard and Celebrini. Like, I think he's that caliber kind of guy. And I mentioned that his defensive game has really matured this year. And so, with him on the second line there, I think it shouldn't be a problem for Utah to have him matched up against one of those guys as well.
Yeah, Brogan, I was going to say, what was I going to, I can't even remember anymore, but you're getting some love on our nasty chat. Bronco Nick says, Brogan's beard is amazing.
Thank you.
And then John Carlos says, Brogan is a badass name. So you got a lot of fans here, and you're from around these parts. So, hey, Brogan, how exciting is it for you guys covering this Utah hockey club in its first year, and the scoreboard watching that you're going to get tonight? Like, Calgary's in action, St. Louis is in action, Vancouver is in action. This must be exciting for the media and the fans of this club.
Oh yeah, there's a buzz around the city, that's for sure. Like, I mean, I moved to Salt Lake for this job, so I don't know a ton of people outside of hockey, but everybody that I talk to, all they want to talk about is hockey. So, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know that many non-hockey people, but everybody I talk to is like, oh, hey, like, did the club win last night? Or did you see the goal that so-and-so scored? Or, and it's a buzz. So it's really fun to cover, really fun to be a part of this kind of first season here.
Was there a lot of buzz during the Four Nations at all, bro? Just because the move of the team, and then they had the best on best. Were you going out to some establishments? Was the game on when were people congregating to watch?
Yeah, no, I think there were a few watch parties. I did my own watch party. I got a smoker here, and actually my family was all in town and stuff, and so we did our own little party here for the final game. But I think there was a buzz. I got lots of different radio requests like this to talk about the game the next day, and that kind of stuff is always an indication that people are actually interested in it. So I think it would have been better Utah-wise if Clayton Keller had made that team, and he certainly looks like a big snub now. I think he's 12th in the league in points right now. But anyway, people were super excited about it, and all the politics. I know it's nasty stuff going on the politics side of the world, but the sports side of the world, it's so much better with it. So it was awesome.
Definitely.
Brogan, awesome stuff. Thank you for joining us once again. Enjoy the game tonight, buddy, and I'm sure we'll have you on once Utah clinches that playoff spot.
Thanks, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure.
All right, Brogan Houston, Deseret Sports News out there in Utah. A guy he's close to where YouTube Trev grew up.
Like down Tabor, why is that?
Yeah. And then he moved to
Pincher Creek?
Yeah,
Okay,
Pincher.
so- yeah.
He's not from Pincher Creek, though. But
No.
I
Okay.
think.
I
but
like that Sean Dursey, man.
When LA traded Sean Dursey,
I was shocked.
I was shocked because he's the biggest pain in the ass for the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, I just remember that I think it was his rookie season, and although Connor kind of ate him up at the first 4 games, he was doing well, and Doughty was out that year, right? I wonder what assignment you probably put Sergachev with Marino against McDavid, and then
Dursey
come
games.
back with Dursey and Mata against Leon.
Yeah,
that's good, man.
That's a good little group. So this is the lineup for Utah. Clayton Keller with Alex Kerfoot and Nick Schmaltz. Second line, Logan Cooley, Barrett Hayden, Dylan Gunther. Third line is Jack McBain between Josh Stone, son of Shane Doan.
First of his name.
Lawson Krause. And the fourth line, Carconi, Stenlin, and Nick Bustad. Mikhail Sergachev with John Marino. Oli Mata with Sean Dursey. Ian Cole with Michael Kesslering. It's funny because Nick Bustad's probably the guy that spent. He's one of the Oilers that spent not a lot of time here, but people loved him.
I know. He played awesome.
He was good, man.
So good.
But
he should really have a Stanley Cup ring from his time here.
But it seems like he does. He's at the point in his career where he wants to live in a warm climate, be stable.
He
with
wanted
the family.
that was a big mistake. Well, because it came down. Was that 2 years ago between him and McLeod, right? And
oh boy, yeah.
It was around the same money.
How good we look right now.
Well, he should
On this team.
have. Unfortunately, I thought they probably should have moved on from McLeod at that point.
Yeah, and kept Bustad.
But
I agree with that, though. This guy is everything you want in a bottom 6 center or wing or wherever you want to play him. Like
he always has he's noticeable when he plays against the Oilers. That's 2, but we'll see.
But tonight's not going to be pretty for Utah.
Probably not.
They're in for a rough one tonight, boys and girls. 5-1, I'm calling it. Gager thinks they win too, but not by that much of a margin. But he thinks they're going to win. There's no way they're losing this game.
I'm fading on the Oilers win tonight for some reason now.
Because
You're way
far
too confident. Yeah, I think they're going to throw out the stinker, come home after a long road trip.
Oh man,
they'll be good for the first 5 minutes, and then
boom. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. All right, 19 thumbs up to 100. We should get there. Our Winnipeg audience has joined us. Big game on Thursday. Friends off on Thursday. Oh, that's going to be a good game.
Who?
Friends off. Oilers, Jets. Friends off.
Friends off. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matt Hyman, we should make a wager. What are you thinking there,
Matty.
Phyllis is, Matt's really nice too. All of Winnipeg Islanders are really nice, but Phyllis is like extra nice. So I want to make a bet with Matt Hyman. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
Slam that thumbs up as well. That's going to be a fun game. I can't wait for that game on Thursday. All right, guys, coming up next, we'll close it out here on EST Afternoons. A little bit more of this day in sports history. We'll continue to talk Oilers and Utah, and we'll get you set for the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6. That's all coming up here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Here's Koob with your sports update.
Edmonton hosts Utah. Zach Hyman and Mattias Ekholm return to the Oilers lineup from injury, and Derek Ryan has been recalled from the AHL. He's recorded 3 goals and 8 points in 13 games for the Condors this season. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas break it all down during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 6 right here and only here on EST. 8 other games around the league. Flames and Rangers have a date. Detroit challenges Washington. Alex Ovechkin just 8 goals away from breaking the all-time scoring record. After that, Vancouver hits the ice in Winnipeg. Connor Garland listed as a game-time decision for the Canucks. Meanwhile, Stars head coach Pete DeBoer says that there's a, quote, realistic possibility that Miro Heiskanen won't be ready until the second round of playoff action. Heiskanen underwent a left knee surgery, missing play since the end of January. A light NBA slate has Golden State host Milwaukee, Brooklyn visiting Boston, the Hawks and Hornets butting heads before the Clippers take on the Cavs. And later, left-handed pitcher Eric Lauer starts on the mound for the Jays as they face the Orioles. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Koob, keeping you up to date.
Home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games. PlayMoreGames.ca.
.242. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas, Zachary Koob with you. Reed Wilkins is coming up in about 17 minutes time. He'll take you right up until 6 o'clock. Then it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre-game show with Tom Gazzola. And me.
And you.
And we don't know yet. Mystery, yes.
I do it, but Tommy doesn't allow me in his apartment when I'm on my way to the rink. So,
are you going to the rink?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the panel? Nice. Tommy and I can handle it.
Okay, good.
Like, only an hour, bruh. I can talk some nonsense for an extra 10 minutes.
I've seen it.
Hey, are you a big fan of the Police Academy movies?
Yes.
They're great, eh? Who's your favorite character?
Ooh. I like Hightower.
Okay.
Because he's a maniac, right?
I like Tackleberry.
Tackleberry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on this day...
Isn't Hightower?
No, Hightower's the former football player. Big dude.
Yeah.
Works at the flower shop.
Right.
In the first one.
Yeah. Or maybe it's Tackleberry.
Tackleberry's like the guy that's just crazy.
Yeah,
like,
he's all into guns.
Yeah.
He wants to shoot people. It's okay, yeah. That guy.
March 18th, 1988, Police Academy 5 hit the theaters.
Smokes.
Assignment Miami Beach, it was called. But it didn't have Mahoney, like Steve whatever his name.
Steve Gutenberg.
Because he was doing 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was scheduling conflicts.
Oh, no.
It was still good.
Who was the guy that did all the sounds, too. What was his name?
Oh, what was his? Yeah, he was good, too.
He was really good.
I mean, Mahoney was awesome.
Mahoney was awesome. And then
there was
the chief that hated them all. they were funny movies.
Larvell
Yeah.
Jones, Cadet Karen was Kim Cattrall. She was Mahoney's.
I love
Hooks. Remember Hooks?
Yeah, Hooks.
Yeah.
They would always trick the chief, and he'd end up in the gay biker bar. The Purple Onion.
Yeah, something like that.
No, Blue Oyster Club.
The Blue Oyster Club.
Oyster Club. That's what it was.
I'm trying to look for the captain.
That was funny.
Those were the good old days. Those movies were classics.
Oh man, I got into this weird algorithm where it was just all 80s stuff. And how everyone talks, it was just such a better time, and it was so nostalgic. I'm going, yeah, man, that was Gen Xers were the last. What do they say? We're the last generation to not have cell phones. It was beautiful. To be out, like to have your parents like basically not parent, just say go outside, come back whenever.
There's nothing like the 80s, Joaquin, because the best music is from the 80s for me. I loved it.
Yeah.
The best movies, man.
The best movies. It was just, like, what does they say? You didn't take pictures. There was just moments that you remember, right? Yeah, it was.
The cassette tapes. Oh, man. It was just different time, man.
Yeah. If I had the flex capacitor, I'd go back.
Take me back to the 80s, man. Even the early 90s.
Well, what my daughter binged last week. What show do you think she binged? Like, she loves this show. It's a new show out. You probably never watched it though. It's Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. I just couldn't think of the name.
Oh, okay. Like it's. I watched Stranger Things, and I'm almost crying because I just remember riding my bike, like with my buddies, through everything and just adventures every day.
Well, it's funny because I'm always on my phone now. But I grew up without it. And I was like for my age, like I didn't get a cell phone until I was like 25, 26 years old. When all my friends had them from like 18 to 25.
Oh, really?
And I never wanted one. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm older than you. My first cell phone, I think I got like a Rogers flip phone when I was, how old was I? Jeez, I was old, dude. That's like, I was 27 before I had a phone. And it was a big phone too. Like this thing weighed about 8 pounds.
And now it's like everybody's like, get off your phone. And I wasn't a phone guy, man. I was late. I was late to the cell party, man.
My attention span is terrible right now. Like if I'm watching a live program on TV and a commercial comes up, I'm looking for my phone to see it's terrible. I can't even watch a commercial.
What have they done to us?
Ruined us. Because you know what? Ron Lowe, former Oilers coach, great man. He talks about what the summertime, he goes back to Manitoba. He's got a cabin there. And he just says, it's a month and a half, no phone, no internet, nothing. The world could end. I wouldn't know about it. Yeah. I'm just like, that would be great. Just to completely unplug for a month.
That's what I'm looking forward to in Mexico. Like once you go back to your room, like in the evening to get ready for dinner, like I'll probably check in and be like, oh, what's going on? But I'll
be calling you all the time.
Put the phone away and enjoy, a little bit of paradise for a bit, right?
Yeah.
Good food, some good drinks, some sun.
Darts.
Oh, the darts. Bone says, I love that Hightower ripped the back seat out of the little car and drove from the back seat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hightower. Oh, he was great.
This one says, hey, Gage, are you thinking of the Purple Onion back in the day? It was by Bamboo Palace. Remember that on White Ave?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's where the Pint is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Blue Oyster Club. But the Purple Onion, I remember when I first came to Edmonton, I was like, what is that? I thought it was a gay biker bar. I don't know why. But.
No, and it was like a rock bar. Yeah. And then growing up as kids, we always went to Bamboo Palace for like birthdays.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
There's a lot of people that stabbed outside that Purple Onion. I remember.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good times. Yeah, the 80s. Oh, boy. Take me back, man.
Yeah.
God world.
I know. That was fun, man. Especially in Vancouver. It was great.
Bronco Nick says, my first cell phone was 1993, and that must have been like this.
Back then, car phones were a big deal too. You could get it installed.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a corded phone. Like, talk about dangerous, this thing. Like, you had to press a button to remove it and click it. And yeah, I think every call cost like $80.
Because beepers were the big thing because the cell phones were so expensive and big. And then everybody got beepers.
I think I had I
never had one.
I think my dad had a beeper. And, my friend had a beeper. I don't know why he did. He had a paper route. Jesus. And, I would text him. I'd go 911, right? At the end of it, he'd know it was he'd have to go to a payphone to call me.
Well, that's the thing. It's just people like sending you, hey, call me. And like, yeah, I'll see.
I don't think my parents cared about me, really. I was gone.
Do you even know what a beeper is, Koob?
Well, I didn't grow up in that time, but I'm not that ignorant. I've watched
shows.
One movie, Boys in the Hood, I think had one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Talks about the beeper.
Yeah,
I get it.
I saw a guy like spring break. Like, he looked. He was probably my age, but his like short Speedos on at the pool and stuff, and held his phone, but he had a cord with a receiver, like a phone receiver talking on it.
Amos says, I'm recovering from hernia surgery, and I've made a list of 80s action movies to watch. One a day for the past week. Just me and the dog. Today's flick was Beverly Hills Cop. It was a blast. Oh.
Which one? One or two? One's good.
Even the second
one's good too.
Then they get a little stupid. The new one's not bad. I was entertained.
Yeah.
Oh, but the 80s, like Weird Science, classic.
Chet.
Which one?
Chet from Weird Science.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Paxton.
We can have Bernie's 80s or 90s.
Well, that's 80s.
That's good.
That's a song. That's just ridiculous. That movie.
Oh, man. Me and my sister would always laugh when he's like, Manos de Piedra. Eh? See, simple comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it was great, man. I'm getting some ideas for Hernan's.
Nice.
Koob might not be in because Koob is not a big movie guy. And especially 80s, right?
Well, I think the best movies definitely came from like the late 80s or early 90s. Like, I'm an 80s, 90s kind of guy when it comes to the media aspect of it. Of course, there's great movies that come out today, but some of the great classics came out in the 80s, 90s era. I still don't know movies, though.
I mean, Al Pacino's Scarface was a classic.
Yeah.
Talking to me?
Smitty the Welder says, they were called pagers, not beepers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I still called them beepers.
Yeah.
They would beep.
You either were a doctor or a drug dealer, essentially, if you had one.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
Classic.
Never Ending Story.
Oh, so good.
Princess Bride. Come on.
There's so many, man.
I'm happy that you're enjoying Daredevil, though.
Yeah, it's good. Like, me and Jeff have been watching. I think we're heading into episode 8. We just met Styx. It's good. And Stick, whatever. And she laughs because she's into those kind of shows, and she's like, it's funny that Gager gets you into it. I'm like, well, no. I'm like, I was like, I'm intrigued by the new one. And then I'm like, but Gager recommended we start here. And she's like,
well,
okay.
I thought because you're not into all the superpower and laser eyes and flying and stuff, right? No. So this one actually, and there's a few other ones, they're not as good, but Iron Fist and Power Man, Jessica Jones, they're in a season. You don't have to watch that one. It's called The Defenders. I suggest you don't. They might make appearances because in the next few seasons, but I'll just answer your question. Stick with Daredevil. It's the best.
Okay. Big Uke says, what do you enjoy more, Daredevil or darts?
Both. He is double D over here.
Is Uke combined? There's no need to select one. Oh, another great 80s Ferris Bueller. Does anyone remember Project X with Matthew Broderick with the little? They're trying to save the little monkeys from all this testing from the government.
Think so. I never watched it. I was thinking of what's the War Games? That was a good one with Matthew Broderick.
I was gonna say Warriors, but that's 70s.
Yeah,
the Warriors.
that's 70s.
The Warriors,
that's such a good one.
Is the first Escape from New York with Snake Plissken? Is that 80s? That's got to be 80s. Conan, the first Conans in the 80s.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Is Bloodsport 80s?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is it? It's got to be late 80s.
Star Wars after
70s.
the first one, of course. Well, that first
one, 76
or something. 76.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got to get out here. It's 2:55. Reed Wilkins is coming up in 5 minutes. It is Oilers game day. I think they win. Mex Bezuzu finally joins the chat, and he retracted his message, so I don't know what's going on with Mex Bezuzu. Hey, Reed Wilkins, 3 to 6, pregame show, 6 to 7 with Tom Gazzola, and we're back later tonight with the postgame show. Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy the afternoon. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For Gager, for Koob, I am Salas. We'll talk soon. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the game. Ciao.
Vote for my daughter.
Vote for Liliana.